Hello, Danny Singer Experience, and welcome to Nancy's Nest.
Hey, sorry, just checking my grinder actually.
How is it? How is it on Grinder?
How are you? You're really close. Do you want to come by for a quick NSA? Safe and discreet.
Oh,
Oh.
what? Tell me about the next tattoo you're gonna get.
Do you know, I haven't actually decided yet. I'm probably going to get one in Paris when I'm there in a month.
You're not gonna get the grinder dog, the grinder noise.
Oh yeah, that's a secret though.
Okay, you, Jamie, and Eden.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's a secret.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get one in Paris, I think, when I'm there.
Oh,
Again.
good. So tell me, what is the Danny Singer Experience? I've heard a lot about it. I mean, I've experienced it a lot over the past 4 years. But also, how can I get a discount?
Well, it's important to note first of all that cis men do not get discounts on the Dani Singer Experience, and that's just a rule. It's a very stringent experience, really, that very few people, really have the privilege to. What I don't really know. Do you know where did it even come from? Do you remember?
Might have been Blind Date or HIV Gladiators or one of
It was just born of. Do you know when it kind of came about when? No, I know. I remember exactly where it came from.
Where?
It was about 3 years ago when I did that thing that people do when they come out on Facebook, and I came out as non-binary and asked people. At that point, I didn't know what pronouns I wanted people to use, so I said, please just continue referring to me as the Dani Singer Experience, which I know you all already do. And it was fine because I didn't actually know that people were referring to me as that, but apparently they really were, because they just picked it up quite quickly. And ever since then, I've been the Dani Singer Experience, or Tadise. That's what Rich sometimes calls me.
Yeah, nice.
Which is cute. But that's where it came from, actually. So the Dani Singer Experience is this whole non-binary, queer realisation of self and Jewishness and hair and teeth and eyes and all of that.
Yeah, amazing.
And you still can't have a discount.
Really? Well, I mean, I've got the questions and I want to go through them, but also I'm just like, you've been so involved in queer activism, HIV activism, lots of other stuff in the last 4 years that we've known each other.
3 years.
3 years. It's not 3 years, Dan, and me we're back just over.
2015.
Wow, fuck me. Wow. And you're so involved and you do so many great things and you are so part of, it's not just for activism, you're genuinely, you live and breathe the friendships, the community, the fun, the satire, all of it. So before we go into like the deep-rooted politics of it, it's like, what does it, in brief, what does it mean to you, the queer movement? And when I say queer, I incorporate, because I know you're very involved in HIV activism as well, I incorporate that as all as one, but we all know the nuances. So
Yeah.
what has it meant to you the last 3 years? Or where did it start and what has it meant to you?
Oh, I mean, where did it start? That's, don't know that, do we? But, I mean, before I got involved in ACT UP, I was still labouring under this misinformation that I was like straight, cis, like regular member of society, and ACT UP changed all that for me. And it didn't just change me in terms of my gender and my sexuality, it also changed the fact that I realised that I wasn't regular in society, because I had absolutely no faith and no particular interest in what most of society is geared towards wanting, and what I'd been geared towards wanting for my life before that. So up to the age of 25, which is, you go to school, you get a job, you get a relationship, you get a house. And I was really kind of forcing myself into that niche before I discovered queerness.
Oh, wow.
and that's why I was so fucking miserable for that whole time in my life. I was really miserable.
So there's a huge change.
Yeah, so discovering a queer community, which I'd never had the opportunity to access before then, really. But discovering that just completely turned everything around for me and actually allowed me to start understanding what I really did want to get out of life and what was important and how different that is from what I was trying to tell myself was important.
Yeah.
And the activism, the politics is also caught up in. I mean, look, I've always been quite precocious. I think is probably then. I've always had opinions, and I've like I used to go when I was 13, 14, 15, probably even 16. I went to Speaker's Corner like every week.
Wow.
I was like a feature there. I had my own little. I never spoke, but I had my own. Like people knew me. I knew all the speakers. Like,
Wicked.
I was a feature there, and I've always been on the. I've always wanted more ideas and things, but as I say, like without that core identity being in place, like there was no facet for it to come out for me.
Yeah.
Those ideas. So finding an identity that encompassed my politics, my values, myself, and everything like that's kind of what it's all meant for me, really.
And I guess I'm just putting words in your mouth, but that's why you've got such a strong friendship group, because you're very empathetic to know the journey that you've been on, or for the need of a community, and you can relate that to other people.
Well, yeah, because I had 25 years without that, and I mean, I had a couple of friends who were gay, but I didn't like they. It was not. It was inconsequential that they were gay. It was like that was not really a thing. I didn't know any trans people. I didn't know. I mean, I went to a Jewish secondary school where they would expel pupils for being openly gay. And I knew 2 people that happened to while I was there. So the idea that I could be queer didn't even enter into my head. Like, it was just, like, not an option. But as I say, like, I always knew that the conversations you have with your parents, and like, why don't I fit in? Why don't I fit in? But it's like, I did fit in. I had loads of friends, but it's like, there was something in me that wasn't fitting in. And then realising what that was, just meant that I wanted to fully immerse all the time. And I haven't really looked back, to be honest. Like establishing, joining this community and then establishing my own little sub-community of friends and family and everything has really meant that I can live like a human.
Yeah.
And actually achieve things.
Yeah.
And not just spend the whole time feeling like something's missing. But that's I don't know. I think I'm really keen to support and facilitate spaces and situations where other people can have similar experiences that resonate with them.
Yeah.
And this is something that's coming up in the show that I'm doing, which I'm sure will come up more later.
Yeah.
But one of the main thing, there's lots of main things about it, but one thing that's really important for me about it is that the potential that a lot of the people involved don't know about their history, don't know about where they're from or their community, and obviously because it's a queer community, piece, so everybody has an understanding that they are in some way queer or questioning or something, but like people don't know, and this is people don't know who ACT UP are, people don't know about their history, and that's one of the reasons why they want to get involved. And for me, my inroads to the community was that history, and that was so powerful for me, and that set me on such a strong path. And I just think if I can support people and facilitate a situation where people can have that for themselves through something creative and that's already community based, then that's just like a key thing. But I'll talk more about that show.
I'd love to hear more about the show, because in a way, if there's a way that we can document it in some shape or form. Let me just check this is working. I'm actually going to do this in little chunks, like 10-minute chunks.
Yeah, make it easier.